Greetings. I'm Turk Strongman. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce to you a video series that I have yet to create, but I will set forth on that process shortly, perhaps even today. It is yet another narration of a narration of yet another book by William Walker Atkinson under his pen name Yogi Ramacharaka. This is my hardbound, well, softbound copy of it that I put together myself from an actual hardbound trade house publication book, Mystic Christianity. See, Yogi Ramacharaka, William Walker Atkinson. Mystic Christianity, or the Inner Teachings of the Master. Now, why am I doing this? I want to point out right here that I do not consider this to be one of William Walker Atkinson's seminal works, one of his central works, one of his most important works, one of his most accurate works. There's a large variety of material in the world concerning a more mystical or esoteric side of Christianity than those which most Christians or churches know about or espouse or embrace. William Walker Atkinson's is a fairly decent approach, in my opinion. It's not the only one. There are not huge variations among the different ones. I'm presenting this one because I feature narrations of William Walker Atkinson's books in my own narrative way. My main purpose for doing this one here at this point, I've already done what I consider to be his central and most important works. So I'm branching out into others of his. And I have strived to keep all of my material here non-religious. I don't even call it spiritual, really. I call it practical and cognitive instruction. The practical side, the to-do side, there's the how-to side, and the what side, that being the cognitive instruction material, running in parallel with one another. Theory, in other words, only where it can be supported by actual practice or put to use. And practical instruction, where that can be supported by the cognitive or the theoretical side. Okay? I have tried to keep all of that away from religious talk. Because, well, there are various reasons, okay? One is I want to appeal to as many people as possible. If I were to present a Christian perspective on everything, or a Hindu perspective on everything, or a Buddhist perspective on everything, or a yoga approach to everything, no matter what, right? No matter which of those, then I'm preaching to a narrow audience. And I will tend to count out other people who are not interested in that specific world religion or religious approach to affairs. And number two, this way, I also, in large, can appeal to people of all religions. such that my material can add to their going religious belief system. Okay. Christianity is one of the, I'd say, 2 or 3, 4, maybe, major religions of the world. Has been for a long time. Right? Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism. They're the biggies. Here in the United States, where I am, a large portion of the population is Christian, where it has a religious affiliation, or where and when and among whom there is religious affiliation, it is Christian. And I take it to be the case that it's one of the major religions that least lends itself to outside interpretations. Whether an exposition on mystic Christianity, esoteric Christianity, is an outside interpretation, well, that's up to the content itself and to a person's point of view about it. Now, I will point out that monks, Christian monks, who ever heard of such a thing? Aren't monks Buddhist and Hindu? Not exclusively. There are Christians in monasteries, priests of a rather high rank. And yes, those who just live in monasteries and meditate a lot. Who ever heard of a Christian meditating? Isn't that evil? Isn't that Hindu and Buddhist? Isn't that pagan? Isn't that sacrilegious? Isn't that the path to hell? Well, go to the monasteries. Answer that for yourself. No, it's not. Many of them do have a more esoteric approach to Christianity, but they don't talk about it much. It's part of their initiation. It's part of their monastery life. It's part of their monkhood. Whether it's taught to them or whether they arrive at it through their contemplations and meditations. Probably a matter of both. Well, so this is, I think, my endeavor here now with this book is an appeal to the everyday Christian, the pedestrian Christian, who is looking for something a little extra, something a little more esoteric, something a little bit more on the mystical side, maybe the inner teachings of Christianity, or at least an approximation of them, maybe what Jesus really meant when he didn't speak in parables, when he was talking to his disciples, things along those lines. Information of this sort, a deeper approach, a deeper feel for Christianity, but that does not contradict or run inconsistently, at least not too far, with what they already hold in the matrix of their Christian belief system. That's why I'm doing this. I could pick other approaches to this, other people's points of view about this, other lineages of thought along this line. I'm picking this one. It'll add to my list of narrated books by William Walker Atkinson in the list here on my channel, Theron Q. Ramacharaka. Let's take a look at the table of contents. Oh, and in doing this, I want to point out, I want to make it clear that one reason why I haven't done this book yet is because I wanted to get the central works that are most important to the main thrust of my channel here and my one-on-one curriculum with people done first. Secondly, I'm not proposing like I do in those with respect to those other ones that I just referred to, the ones that are already here, the mastermind, mind power, etc. Okay, I hold to the information in those rather firmly with respect to its practice. Oh my goodness, my shoulder. What just happened? I do not know. I hold to the verity and the practicality of the material in those rather closely. This I do not so much, because there are other approaches to this, and I find them all much to be, with respect to validity, usability, practicality, on a par with one another. But I don't adhere to any of them specifically, myself. I have my own point of view about it all. Mostly being the result of having gone through a lot of such material myself, and my own thoughts about it added in. I was brought up in a very fundamentalist, biblically literalist, almost cult-like Protestant sect, Plymouth Brethren-ism. No such point of view as what's in here is accepted by them. None. No. Oh no. This. Most of what's here would be considered blasphemy by them. But most Christians, at least in the United States, and perhaps more so Eastern Christianity, aren't that exclusive about their beliefs. Right. So anyway, I'm not presenting this book. My immediate point is, I'm not presenting this book as being the only or the gospel truth on the matter. The table of contents, there being 12 chapters, are the coming of the Master, number 2, the mystery of the virgin birth, number 3, the mystic youth of Jesus, 4, the beginning of the ministry, 5, the foundation of the work, 6, the work of organization, 7, the beginning of the end, 8, the end of the life work, number 9, the inner teachings, 10, the secret doctrine, 11, the ancient wisdom, and 12, the message of the Master. My copy here totaling a little over 247 pages. about 265 pages, 67, 68, close to 270 pages. We'll get to it in the next video. That'll be chapter 1, which again is what? The coming of the Master. See you there. I'm Turk Strawman. Be well.